I remember I was about 14 years old and I saw The Last Samurai in theaters with my dad and my brother. And I thought to myself, wow, a movie about Asians. That's cool. I relate to this. And Tom Cruise is the samurai, the number one samurai in Japan. Wow, what a great movie. And then I remember I went to class, history class, social studies, with my favorite teacher, Mr. Parker. And somehow the movie came up. And I shouted loudly, "The movie was awesome!" And then Mr. Parker was like, "No, that movie was terrible." And he said something that I didn't understand at the time. He said something about like colonization and colonial perspective. And I was like, what? What's he talking about? And then I got older and I got into the Chappelle show and I watched Paul Mooney talking about the last black man on earth. Yeah, Paul Mooney is doing movie reviews and he's like, here's a movie. It's called The Last N-Word on Earth, starring Tom Hanks. And everybody laughs. And I start thinking, okay, there's something here. This is what they're talking about with the media and the movies and so much influence. You're imprinting this idea on naive minds that someone is the savior. And for some reason, the savior is always a Caucasian American person. Sometimes British, American or British. And I'm not complaining about this. Okay, I'm not saying wah wah wah, make movies about Asian heroes. Okay, even though you don't see the reverse, right? You don't see a movie called The Honorable Businessman Who Saved America, starring Jackie Chan, rated 14A. Because there's romance scenes where Jackie Chan gets the pretty girl. That doesn't happen, right? But the reverse happens. And that's a reflection of history and reality. That was the time of the supreme unipolar hegemon America influencing, manipulating, and guiding the whole world. Okay, I'm purposely using words with positive and negative connotations. So that was the times. Those were the days. We couldn't say 20 because the Kaiser stole it, so I had to say Dickety. I chased him for Dickety 6 miles. That's from Simpsons. The Simpsons is so good.
Dickety!
And at the same time, people argue Simpsons predicts the future. It also normalizes American foreign military action. If you watch the early seasons of Simpsons, you'll find little jokes from Lisa and Homer, especially those two. And Lisa is the intellectual, but she is kind of soft justifying the movement. And there are all these reports that in the Strait of Hormuz, transport is being allowed if the shipment is being settled in Chinese yuan, yuan, and but these reports are not confirmed. And now you're not hearing people say, "Oh, China has overbuilt solar panels." You know, China has invested a lot of time and sacrificed economically to be able to produce solar panels at a very cheap rate, very high quality ones too. Like they make these long lines of solar panels and they're bendable and despite the media narrative, I believe, based on fact, China has made the most material actions towards building a future that includes renewable energy. Yes, China still burns a lot of fossil fuels, but in terms of solar and wind energy, I believe if we look at the numbers, You cannot argue that China is not leading in this area. This video is over. Why are you still watching this? Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my.